Welcome to part 4 of dealing with parallel and perpendicular lines. If you haven't watched part 1, 2, and 3, please head over and watch those parts first, such that this makes sense to you. One thing we know about parallel lines is they have the same slope. So if you tell me this line is parallel to the other, you're actually telling me these two lines have the same slopes or the same gradient, right? And then perpendicular lines, if you tell me these two lines are perpendicular, what you're telling me is they actually have negative reciprocal slopes. Or you're telling me that if you multiply the slopes, you get -1, whichever you want to do. So they're telling us, asking us to write the equation of the line that passes through this point, but perpendicular to the line 5x plus 3y is equal to 21. Another thing you have to note, guys, is can I tell the slope of this line here? Let me call it line star. What's the slope of this line star? I can't really tell it. All I have to do is first put it in form y is equal to mx plus b, and then I'll be able to tell slope. The coefficient of x, after putting it in that format, will be the slope. So the first thing I need to do is convert that equation in this format. I want to make y the subject. Does that make sense? So I'm starting with 5x because I want it to be exactly like this. Starting with 5x, then the constant. So because this was a positive 5x, crosses equal signs becomes a negative 5x minus 21. Now I want to make y the subject. So I divide everything by the coefficient of y. So now I can tell the slope of this line is -5/3. Now, what will be the slope of the line perpendicular to that line? So meaning my line 2 will have a slope, or flip the fraction. It will be 3 to 5, and flip the sign. This is negative, so this will be positive. So it will be positive 3/5. So meaning the line perpendicular will be having that slope, 3/5. So let's get the equation of that line. Interesting, right? All right, to get the equation, we know the slope is change in y over change in x. So y minus the y coordinate 1 over x minus the x coordinate, which is -5, will give me the slope 3/5. So minus minus gives me a positive. So y minus 1 over x plus 5 will give me this slope 3/5. So let's go back to this step. Why do I say y minus? Because remember, the definition of a slope is change in. Change in means difference. What's a change? What's the difference, right? So change in y over change in x gives you the slope. So y minus this y and x minus this x would give me the slope. But because this is a minus minus situation, gives us a positive. Guys, whenever you reach this point, just cross multiply. Remember that video of cross multiplication? I have it in my video series. Please go back and watch that video if you still struggle with this cross multiplication. So collect like terms, really. At this point, it's up to you to, you could leave it in this form if you really want to leave it in that format. But even if you leave it in standard form, unless the question specifically tells you to write the equation in the slope-intercept format, you can leave it in standard form. So 5y minus 3x is equal to, because this is a -5, it's going to be a positive when it goes the other side. So I'm going to give you 5y minus 3x is equal to 20. So you can leave that equation like that, really. And if you want to convert it in the slope-intercept format, you could do that if you want to. I have a video series teaching you how to convert those equations, but this is also okay. Just do it like that. Okay, let's look at another example. Trust me, by the end of example 2, this would be making sense. So they're asking us to write the equation of a line that goes through this point and perpendicular to this equation. Okay, so ask yourself, what is the slope of this equation, right? Can you tell it? Is it in the form y is equal to mx plus b? Yes, it is. So when you see this equation is equal to y is equal to 2x minus 4, it's in the format, so I can tell m, really. If I compare these two equations, I can tell m, meaning the slope of this line is 2. Now, what will be the slope of the line perpendicular? Remember, perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So the slope of the line perpendicular, line 2, will have a slope, flip it. So it will be 1/2. Change the sign. This is positive, this will be negative. That will be the slope of the line perpendicular. So let's write the equation. So this is y, this is x. So y minus 3 over x minus 4 should give me my slope here, which is -1. At this point, guys, cross multiply. You know, this cross multiply like that. This will multiply with that, and this will multiply with that. Don't forget your parentheses. So negative 1 into x minus 4 is equal to 2 into y minus 3. You could leave it like that, really, or simplify it further. I brought x this side of the equation. I'm taking 6 the other side of the equation. It's equal to 10. That's what I did. So guys, if you still have trouble collecting like terms, I have a video of how to deal with these collecting of like terms. All right, let's look at the last example. Feel free to pause this video and try solving this problem by yourself. See if it comes out. So they're telling us to write the equation parallel. So we know if two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So the line parallel to this line, what's the slope of this line? Is it in the format y is equal to mx plus b? No. So first write it in that format. Make y the subject. Y is equal to 1 out of 3x. Positive divided by a negative, you get a negative minus 3. So this is the equation. These two equations are the same. So the difference is I wanted to tell the slope. Now from this equation, the slope m is 1 out of 3. And because these two lines are actually parallel, they will have the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. So I will use the same slope. That means my line 2 will also have a slope of 1 out of 3. So I'm going to work out my equation. So y minus 1, which is a positive 1 over x minus 3. This would give me 1 out of 3. At this point, I'm going to cross multiply. This would multiply with that, and this would multiply with that. Don't forget your parentheses. So 3 into y plus 1 is equal to 1. Anything multiplied by 1, you get that same thing. Or 1 into x minus 3. So 3y minus x is equal to, if 3 goes the other side, it will be a negative. So negative 6. So this is the equation that you were looking for. This line is parallel to that line. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. See you again in my next video.